Don't watch any other video about productivity until you understand that digital overload is creating mental fatigue for you. What is digital overload? Well, in simple terms, digital overload is more like you giving or you consuming too much of information than your brain can actually handle at a given moment. And then mental fatigue comes as a result of digital overload. What is mental fatigue? This is when your brain does not have enough energy to perform efficiently because you have overflogged it with too much of information within a short period of time. Look at the brain of our ancestors. They do not get the quick, instant information that we get nowadays. They hardly get these cues and information. And even if they get one, it's usually very important and it is tied to their survival. For example, they see an animal moving around. It's either they go after it to use it for meat or they are careful because the animal might come and hit them. And they hear a sound, when they see the vision of something, they see something around them, it's usually a cue for them to do something or to go away from that environment. When they see an expression in their tribe members' faces, it's usually a sign that something might need to be addressed. But nowadays, we have 60 notifications on our phones. We have 20 emails. We have social media posts. We have likes. We have reactions from online social media content. And then we don't know how to handle these things at the same time because our brain does not have the capacity to handle too much of these things at the same time. And as a result of trying to switch tasks, decide, know what to do, should I answer this message? Should I react to this? What is this person saying? You go online, you watch social media content. Can I take this information? Is this valid? All this decision making that our brain has to undergo gives us mental fatigue. That when it's time for us to work on our project, on our craft, when it's time to be productive, we don't have the energy anymore. That is when we say we are mentally fatigued. That is when we say our brain cannot handle this information within the short period of time because it has happened to handle too much of the information than it can handle. Of course, our brain is an efficient machine, but just consider your brain having 100% of battery fully charged first thing in the morning. But as you go along the day, you scroll on social media, you chit chat, you watch funny videos, you get triggered by content, you see people fighting on social media. There are so many things that you have to expose yourself to. You see the news of what's going on around you in the country and abroad. You see this content, do all these things online, and then you have drained your mental battery and your mental capacity. Then you are said to be mentally fatigued. What is left for you to work on your craft? What is left for you to work on a project? What is left to motivate you? You have nothing left. That is why you are not productive. That is why you cannot work efficiently. That is why you cannot make good decisions. You don't need to watch any other productivity content. You need to watch any other motivation content. Grind. Also, work hard. You might not even need hustle culture. You might just need to make your brain function better. You might just need a better brain. You might just need an efficient brain that is not mentally fatigued from overconsumption or overstimulation, from digital overload. Digital overload is causing you mental fatigue, and you need to take a step back. Do not expose yourself to all these things that are triggering. Of course, you can use social media, you can check your messages, you can go online, but at a stipulated time. You don't just start scrolling for no reason. You can't just be working and then you get the notification on your phone and then you pick up your phone and start scrolling to see what's going on online. That's not how to function like a normal human being. I want you to know that that notification, that message, that mail is not as urgent as you think it is. But it's because these social media engineers have already wired this technological advancement to replicate how our brain functions in the primal times. Because when our ancestors see cues around them, they see it as important. It might affect their survival. So they take action immediately. That same phenomenon is how the social media engineers have wired these social media apps and entertainment devices. So it has been wired that way to give you notifications where you can think that these notifications are actually that important. But deep down, if you think about it, it's not so important. That notification can wait. That email can wait. That message can wait. That news can wait. That reaction for social media can wait. It's not that urgent, it's not that important, but your brain sees it as important because it has been wired to replicate our innate desire to react to cues around us. So be stipulated, be regimented, give yourself time where you are going to check your social media. Give yourself time where you are going to check your messages. Give yourself time where you are going to check emails. Give yourself time where you are going to engage on social media. You shouldn't be always online. You shouldn't be always active. You shouldn't be always ready to entertain or to stimulate yourself. Create time. And I'm not saying you stimulate yourself overly, but create time where you do these things. Okay, first thing in the morning, I'm not going on my phone. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not checking notifications. I'm not checking messages so that I don't have to decide. I don't have to switch tasks. I don't have to be mentally fatigued. I'm doing it with all entertainment, social media content, devices, and technology for the first 4 hours in the morning. Wake up in the morning, meditate, journal, write your plan, work, grind, and hustle. Do that important thing that you have to do for the day. Then later in the day, when you are done, then you can pick up your phone, you can check message, you can check emails, you can check notifications. Nothing bad will happen to you if you don't respond to that message right now. Nothing bad will happen to you if you don't reply to that message. Nothing bad will happen to you if you don't scroll on social media first thing in the morning. Why are you taking these things so important? Rethink and see that those messages are not even that important. That notification is not even so important. Checking out social media content is not even that important to you, to your survival and to your productivity. So you can do those things later in the day. Turn off notifications, grind for the first 4 hours of the morning, do the most important things in the morning, and then later on when you are done, you can check your phone, check notifications, fool around, and do whatever you want to do with your time. But remember, mindfully, do not let these technological advancements control you. We're not saying you shouldn't use these technological devices. We're not saying you shouldn't watch TVs. We're not saying you shouldn't watch movie. We're not saying you shouldn't be on social media. But of course, do not let these things control you. You should be in control, not letting these things control you. Use these devices mindfully, and then you can be in control of your life, your productivity, your craft, your fulfillment, and your purpose in life. If you watch the video this far, then it means this message actually resonates with you. Then you are meant to be here. Welcome to the tribe.